Hi, this is Dr. John Grazel, and this short video is meant as an introduction to our initiative that we call Crossroads of Peace, to give you some sense of what it is, how it came to be, and most of all, hopefully to motivate you to engage in it on an ongoing basis. A while back, when a group of people at the University of Maryland that consisted of the Baha'i Chair for World Peace, uh, uh, various people, particularly the School of Education, that were interested in peace education, and actually students who were very much searching to study peace, as well as other faculty and other divisions, formed a group called the Initiative for Education for Peace, Cooperation, Development, and just got together to say, what can we do since the school doesn't have a formal program for peace? What can we do to make the study of peace and a reality at the university? Out of that, we developed something actually called the Semester on Peace, and there's a video on that separately about what that was about and how that came to be and the lessons we learned from it. But among the most important lessons was we learned it was a success precisely because it provided a gathering place, that there was a large cohort of people who had shared concerns about peace. There were many people who felt it was an imperative. Uh, there were people who were motivated to get together. There were people actually doing things, but there didn't seem to be a venue for their actually getting together and exchanging ideas and collaborating and cooperating. So, as an outcome of that, we created a proposal for something called Pathways to Peace, and the information on that activity is available on another video. But we even wanted to go beyond that. We wanted to create something that actually is a gathering place for a much wider audience. And for that, this site has been created, and it is independent of the others in that it's not particularly attached to the university. It's not particularly attached to the Baha'i Chair. It's being managed, hopefully, literally, as a crossroads for coming together of various efforts of peace so that they can dialogue, learn, cooperate, grow, reflect, and expand. Now, it has a unique structure that has been developed. That structure, there are 6 components. One is an international development course, and that is the international development course I gave at the University of Maryland, and it's synoptic videos of the subjects of that course. Then there are topics for development. International development has actually become a rubric under which an enormous amount of effort across the globe at all different levels is occurring to try to create an alternative world, a world where there's more peace and prosperity and less inequality and injustice. Then there are what we call dialogues and consultations. And that's meant to actually be a presentation of examples of where true dialogue and consultation has taken place. And not just an exchange of views, but people who really gathered together to listen with the desire to change their own thinking as much as the thinking of others. Then there's a Pathways to Peace element, which is intended to use the template of Pathways to Peace to give to others the possibilities of how, wherever they are, they might get together to work towards peace. Then there's one that's called Foundational Principles, and that ties to an effort here to create a website and an overarching program that hopefully will attract what we call foundational principles scholars to look at more closely how the role of foundational principles and how they're changing affect particularly the world and global governance as it is evolving in the world. And then there's a 6th element that we call complementary materials that other efforts can be linked to that we feel would be of value for anyone who would come to the site as well. This is a very open system. This is a growing system. This is a learning system. Now, to understand it, however, it is key to realize that it's built on videos. Why videos? Well, actually, that came out of the experience here. We found that particularly working with young people, particularly working in situations where people are extremely overbooked uh, in terms of commitments, working in a system where actually a lot of the information about commitment and feeling comes from visual cues, not just written words. Uh, and because it's easy to attach written materials, so if one wants more of an expansive view, the written materials can be accessed if wanted. We decided to make videos the key resource. And I want to stress that these videos and the materials we put on this site and those that anyone contributes are seen as a resource for others. And it is hoped that others will use them for their teaching, use them to enrich any dialogues they have with others, use them just to think and reflect themselves on their own beliefs. Uh, they are, however, very much structured in a presumption that the classic academic way of thinking, which is let's just look at theory, and from theory, let's evolve policy, and then let's figure out how to put that policy into action, um, is reversed. And these videos very much are videos that are meant to build on action or understanding of action or understanding of experience, to reflect on them, to extract key concerns and issues that would promote learning and to encourage reformulation and then transformation in an ongoing process. And we hope that people will not only use them, we hope people will participate. Over time, it's hoped that there will be a stream of additional contributions from others, uh, but that they all will share the compatible purpose, and that compatible purpose being the promotion of positive peace and in a spirit of collaboration uh, and not competition, and a spirit of actual learning and reflection, and that they will be succinct, not expansive, and that they will be more concerned in raising issues that cause both the person presenting it as well as those who receive it to rethink and re-understand how we might achieve peace and prosperity and the experiences behind it. In fact, my first own experience with the very power of the concept and actual practice of something like Crossroads of Peace came out of my own experience in international development. When I was actually the USA mission director in the Congo, and things were in very bad conditions. These were in the 1999, year 2000, a great deal of violence and little structure. And it was proposed and actually created a series of gathering places that were called Crossroads of Justice. And we found, much to our amazement, how many people wanted to come and really speak about what they felt was needed. And it just wasn't ordinary people. We found soldiers and policemen, people who normally you don't think as being concerned, and people who very often are villainized by others, wanting to actually become part of a positive process. And out of that experience, really became my own awareness of the power of venue, as long as it's a venue that brings together people who are open and who share commitment and who share a desire to deal with an imperative and realize that at stake is really the transformation of themselves, others, in their society, and the basic values with which they live, and the principles by which they guide themselves, as well as the pragmatic methods they use to achieve their aims. So we welcome you. There is an email address, and you're welcome to send any of your comments or suggestions for materials that might link or materials that might be addressed. Over time, we hope to have additional aspects of this, particularly perhaps a Facebook or some a similar type of associated activity. But behind it all, remember, The purpose of this Crossroads of Peace is to bring people together.